Welcome everyone, this is Kerjims channel. Now we are back to our new episodes of True Semi-Reality Champions and Comparison, featured by Wild League of Legends versus the Mobile Legends Bang Bang. But before that, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to click the bell icon so you will be notified to our next episode video. Let's do this!
Lulu is a ranged support champion. Her suite of crowd control and buffs make her a valuable addition to any lineup. A well-played Lulu can disrupt enemy teams while empowering her own, dominating fights. Lulu's passive is Pix, Fairy Companion. Pix follows Lulu wherever she goes, and whenever Lulu lands a basic attack, Pix fires a few bolts toward Lulu's target. These bolts home in on the target and will damage the first enemy they hit. Glitter Lance fires out a line nuke from both Lulu and Pix, each damaging and slowing every enemy hit. Enemies will only take damage from one Glitter Lance, even if they are hit by both. The biggest part of Glitter Lance is its ability to slow and disrupt, so grab a point early. However, it's powerful with only 1 point, so max it only by level 13. Whimsy can be cast on allies or enemies. When you cast on an ally, the target gains bonus movement speed and ability power for a few seconds. Casting on an enemy will polymorph them, slowing and removing their ability to attack or cast spells for a short time. Between the buff and the polymorph, Whimsy is a must-have at low levels, and is worth maxing immediately by level 9. The ability Help Pix can also be cast on either allies or enemies, and sends Pix to follow that target instead of Lulu for a few seconds. When cast on an ally, Pix grants them a damage blocking shield. Additionally, Pix will now attack that ally's target with each of their basic attacks instead of Lulu's. When cast on an enemy, Pix immediately damages and reveals that target for a short time. Pix will continue to attack your targets as normal from his new location. The power of the shield and nuke, plus the utility of moving Pix around, make it require 1 point extremely early. If you want to buff up the shield and nuke, max it by level 9. But if you just want to use it for its utility, Wild Growth enlarges target allied champion, immediately knocking away nearby enemies. Additionally, your target is temporarily given bonus health and an aura that slows all nearby enemies. Because of the power of Wild Growth, you'll want to rank it as soon as possible, at level 6, 11, and 16. Lulu is best played aggressively. From the very start of the game, I'm able to win trades against Chang'E and Kog'Maw by landing Glitter Lance and attacking as much as possible to maximize Pix's damage. Once you've built an advantage, camp in the brush to stop them from getting any minion kills. Coordinate with your teammate, and once they move in, push for more damage. Once again, Glitter Lance and basic attacks are enough to completely dominate the fight. When casting Glitter Lance, pulling your mouse cursor close to your champion will make both lances shoot in different directions. This way, I'm able to lead both Chang'E and Kog'Maw for slows, though Chang'e turns and runs. The slow lets us push Kog'Maw back again and continue to dominate the lane. When playing aggressively, you want to make sure you ward your lane to watch for ganks. Here I place a ward right at the exit of their ancient golem camp, to watch for their mid lane and jungler. In close battles, target friendly attack damage carries with Help Pix. This way, their attack speed will increase Pix's damage, and it allows you to run around and take your time casting your abilities. Lulu assists ganks really well once she learns Wild Growth. Here Maokai comes into gank, so I hit him with Whimsy. Once he gets into melee range, I cast Wild Growth to lock up our opponents with the knockback and slow. We fire into Chang'E and Kog'Maw, picking up 2 kills, while Maokai ends up tanking tons of punishment without dying, thanks to Wild Growth and Help Pix. When your team attempts to kill Baron, save Whimsy for any potential steal attempts. Here Lee Sin comes in to steal Baron, so I tag him with Whimsy and our team turns to focus him down. We pick up the kill, and then Baron uncontested. Proper timing can crowd control important enemies for a long time. We dive into the enemy base, and Maokai initiates on Chang'E. I target him with Wild Growth to lock up Chang'E. Once the stun ends, I hit her with Whimsy. Once that ends, she finally triggers Monsoon, but it comes in so late we've already gotten her and Shogat low enough to pick up 2 quick kills. Lulu is exceptional at saving champions in sticky situations. Here I wild growth myself to keep myself alive against Blitzcrank. I use Whimsy for movement speed to keep Blitzcrank and Garen from touching me, and we pick up the kill on Garen. Though Lulu is a support, I play her as a jungler. To gank, lead with Whimsy and to help picks, and then land an easy Glitter Lance. This combo will deal significant damage and pick up kills with your team. Keep staying in front of your target and move in between attacks to keep the damage up. For runes, I want to maximize landing harassment and late game scaling. Because of this, I take attack speed marks, flat armor seals, mana regeneration per level of glyphs, and gold generation quintessences. My masteries serve the same goal of early power while growing into late game. I go 0-9-21, focusing on armor and health and defense, plus mana regeneration, movement speed, gold, experience gain, and cooldown reduction in utility. For items, I want to power myself up for late game with the ability to support my whole team. To enable this, I open with a Fairy Charm plus some Sight Wards and health potions. I quickly upgrade for some extra gold generation with Philosopher's Stone and Heart of Gold, while also getting Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Your first major purchases should be Chalice of Harmony, Aegis of the Legion, and Shirelia's Reverie. Build into late game with Locket of the Iron Solari and Rabadon's Deathcap. On Dominion, you'll have similar build goals of ability power, cooldown reduction, and team support. Open with Ionian Boots of Lucidity and Cloth Armor. Rush as many ores as possible with Aegis of the Legion, Shirelia's Reverie, Zeke's Herald, and Will of the Ancients. Top off your build with Rabadon's Deathcap for a nice boost of ability power.
One of the just most insanely overpowered ability. It is extremely flexible. When you cast on an ally, it gives them movement speed and attack speed. Movement speed scales with AP too, so keep that in mind. So it's going to be even more when you have a little bit of AP. And then on the enemy cast, you polymorph them for 2.25 seconds and give them a movement speed debuff. Now, the key to Lulu that separates amazing Lulu players from poor Lulu players is how the general rule that I can give you guys that are just first starting out is if your ADC is under any kind of pressure, the highest threat target that is in range of you, a good example would be something like Kha'Zix or Talon jumping in on your ADC, you want to save your Whimsy for that. But if it's a front-to-back team fight, your ADCs aren't going to be attacked until the 2 tanks or a tank in the front has died. Give them that attack speed steroid, give them that movement speed buff so we can kite really effectively, dodge some skill shots. So just keep that in mind. Obviously, Whimsy can be actually a decent chase down tool, but this would be the third way to use it. Say you get a kill in the 2v2. There's one person running away. Sometimes it might be more effective to put the slow on the person because they are going to lose 60 movement speed, so you can track them quicker and then ensure your Glitter Lance, if you don't think the ADC is going to have enough damage with just the increased movement speed, really kind of fool around a bit with it in lane, but I think that once you master this, everything else falls into place with Lulu. Obviously, there's a couple of small things like you want to have a quick cast to self-cast on your E, and then an ally target only modifier, but you can go over those and keep on. It's very simple. I don't feel like I need to do that, but if you want any kind of help with that kind of stuff, comment down below and I will help you. But if you take anything away, just really get good at using your W. And now we'll wrap up tip 1 for Lulu. Alright, and jumping into tip number 2, I want to talk about something that's very particular to Lulu that a lot of people don't understand. She is actually a pretty decent lane bully. She has very high base damage in the early levels. At level 3, she is one of the strongest supports with just her damage, and then obviously her auto attack enhanced just allows you to destroy people in trades, particularly melee supports. When you are going to the spell thieves, and you're playing against a melee support, you should always have that cooldown being used up to get gold by hitting autos. Just make sure that you understand where your strengths are in the laning phase. Obviously, when you're under threat, if you're against something like a Leona, attack her when she uses her E and misses, attack her a lot at level 1 before she has her full combo, and just really make sure to take advantage of the lane bully status Lulu has. If you have a slight health lead and you're in a 1v1 against an ADC and a minion advantage, I feel like Lulu can win probably about 60% of those matchups just due to her kit being so strong. So always look to take advantage of her early power and her great trading potential. Do not play this like one of those stereotypical Diana players that will stand behind the ADC, do nothing, just shield when they get poked at. This is an aggressive enchanter. This is probably one of the more aggressive enchanters, maybe similar to Karma, where you want to be playing up, you want to... she is a little bit squishy, so you can't get punished, but she has such a high upside of being able to punish the enemy with her high base damages. And again, if you have any questions in regards to how to play out a lane bullying phase, just hit me up in the comments below and I can help you out. Alright, and jumping into the next tip, I want to talk about Lulu's flexibility. It's one thing I just absolutely love about champions in League of Legends when they are like this, and their ability to build different items. Now, there is a wide variety of items you can build when you are playing Lulu, and it just kind of depends on what your team needs. I'm going to go over a couple different scenarios that you can take a look at. Say you have a team with a lot of pick. You have an Elise in the jungle, you have a Fizz in the mid lane, you have another pick champion in the top. What you want to do is amplify their ability. How you do this is with things like Shirelias, where you're giving a movement speed and you're just helping them close the gap quicker and get those picks. Second, Twin Shadows can be great in those situations because it will scout people out and open them up to more picks. Next up, if your team is set up for team fighting, which is pretty beneficial for Lulu, and say your ADC isn't doing that well, or maybe it's an Ezreal and it doesn't really work too well with Lulu, you want to look for AoE team fighting items. These are going to be things like Redemption, these are going to be things like Locket, things that are going to affect a wide swath of people in the team fights. Next kind of situation, you have a Kog'Maw, your best friends are a Varus, and you guys just always slaughter when you fight together. You want to look for single target items that are really going to be beneficial to them. You can look at things like Fiends can just be a great way to nullify single target damage like Fizz and Talon. Next up, you have things like Zeke's that can increase the damage. Obviously, Ardent Sensor is an amazing item on Lulu.